Good. We can call this meeting to order. We'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Moran, is anyone signed up for a public appearance?
No, Mr. Chairman, no one has signed up.
Oh, okay. If we could have a roll call?
Mr. Tatsias?
Here.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. O'Hare? Mr. LeMay?
Here.
Mr. Sheehan?
Here.
Mr. Getchia?
Here.
Mr. Gigi?
Here.
Mr. Bahu?
Here. Oh, I might add, as this meeting is just about to start, due to technical difficulties, the meeting tonight is unable to be live streamed. However, the meeting is being video recorded and will be posted on our website and LTC to view. If I could, does anybody have any school committee communications?
No.
No? Okay. Report of the student representative. Our student representative is not here tonight. We all have her presentation, and we can take a look at it after our meeting and move on from there. If we could have an approval of the minutes from October 20, 2022.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Tatsias, seconded by Mr. Moran. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. LeMay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. Next, we'll have the approval of warrants. If I could have a motion to waive the reading by Mr. Getchia,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Sheehan. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. LeMay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. Okay, an approval of the warrants for the amount of $4,561,624.05. Motion to approve by Mr. Tatsias, second by Mr. Moran. Roll call, please.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. LeMay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. Okay, looks like the next item would be the report of our general counsel. We do not have general counsel here today. Therefore, we can go to the report of our superintendent director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item on my agenda, I'd like to inform the committee that GLTHS has been awarded a targeted assistance grant in the amount of $15,000, and this grant award will be used for closing the achievement gap for student subgroups. The next item on my agenda is the cooperative education report, and you all have a copy of that report in your packets. And the report that you have indicates 144 senior students on co-op, and I'm happy to report that as of this evening, 160 students are out on co-op, which is approximately 30% of our senior class, with 10 more projected to go out within the next week. So again, an awesome job by our cooperative education director, Ms. Bezanson. The next item on my agenda is the health and safety practices and protocols. There's no current updates at this time. I do like to make everyone aware that on Wednesday, we will have another flu and COVID clinic from 10 to 1 p.m., and that's November 23rd, Wednesday, from 10 to 1, here at the school for our staff and our students and their families for flu and COVID.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do they administer the Moderna, the Pfizer?
Yes,
It's all-
it's all there, and it's vaccination 1, vaccination 2, booster 1, booster 2. We do it all. And flu as well. And that will be between 10 and 1 here at school. Wednesday is a half a day, but we will be having the clinic.
Cool.
Is the school committee allowed to come in?
Yes, you are allowed to come.
Mr. Gigi, if you'd like to come here for your
I just
second,
did it.
or your booster,
Yeah.
we have that available to you
'Cause
right
I'm an
here
old
with
fat
Great
man.
Lowell Tech.
And it's going off the rails.
And lastly, I'd like to ask our Assistant Superintendent Principal, Mr. Barton, to join us to provide information regarding out-of-state travel request for one of our instructors.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The out-of-state travel request is for Karen Washington, who is a social studies instructor, to attend the National Council of Social Studies annual conference in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Tuesday and Friday, which is December 1st and 2nd. I spoke to Ms. Washington today, and she has been invited to be part of a panel there involving civics education as well as history education. She is also going to partake in a number of different conferences related to history, civics, and some other subjects. Having known Ms. Washington for a number of years and having supervised her, I can wholeheartedly say that she not only participates in a wide variety of professional development, but she also shares that with her colleagues in what I would say is a wonderful fashion. So she's requesting $691 for reimbursement, which includes train travel and the cost of the conference. So I would ask you to support that, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Getchia, seconded by Mr. Sheehan to approve the out-of-state travel. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and that's the end of my report for this evening.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Superintendent. Next on the agenda would be the report of our business manager. Mr. Knight, if you could step up.
Hey, good evening.
Hi, Mike.
The first item we have on the agenda is the projection of our FY22 closing excess and deficiency balance. So we've closed out our books from the previous year, filed our excess and deficiency submission to the Department of DLS, and we're coming in at a value, or an unadjusted value, not without anything withheld, of about $2,200,514, or about 4.1% of this year's budget. On a year-over-year basis, that's an increase of about $273,000 into the excess and deficiency balance. Puts us nicely at a place of about just over 4% of our next year's budget value, so beneath the maximum allowable and in a good spot for reserves.
That's good news.
Next on my agenda, we have a couple of surplus items that we're looking to dispose of. The first is from the medical assisting department. They have some old some 15-year-old EKG machines, I believe they were, that aren't really functional and or relevant anymore for the curriculum. So we're just looking to move those to disposal, and they probably don't carry any value just based on the age, and Googling them, I think they're a little bit of a relic at this point, and not really useful for much at all anymore. And the second is the cafeteria would like to dispose of a 3-door pressure cook steamer. It's in good condition. It was rarely used by the department. So we're going to reach out to the member communities and see if anyone else wants it. It's just not something they have space for or the need for in their kitchen. So we'll look to follow the disposal policy and start with our local communities, and then move that one to public auction potentially, or scrap. It's a nice unit. It's big. It's stainless steel. It'll at least carry some scrap value, if nothing else, probably. So I'll just need a motion to declare both of those pieces surplus so I can move them through the disposal process.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Moran, seconded by Mr. Gigi. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
All right, and the last item on my agenda this evening is a short list of school committee transfers, or budget transfers. We had a few late salary moves and then just adjustments for new hires that had come in after the last meeting. So a handful of salary moves, and then just a request from our science department to move money from an equipment line to a supply line because they didn't feel they needed the equipment purchased this year, but supplies are a little more expensive.
Motion.
Motion to approve $57,810.87 by Mr. Getchier, seconded by Mr. Sheehan. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Thanks, that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Okay, I'm gonna move old business to the end of our agenda. So, are there any items brought up under new business?
I guess really quick, I just, on behalf of myself, thank everybody that came out to vote in this last election. And, it's an honor to be serving with you guys for another 4 years.
Great, that's great news. Thank you. I've had the pleasure of being re-elected as well. Unfortunately, I was about 1,000 votes behind.
I wasn't going to say
Vote
anything.
getter.
I wasn't going to say anything. But, yeah, Mr. Chairman, you did, lose by 1,000. I mean, you won, but, I did get 1,000 more votes than you, but it's okay.
I came in a close second.
Absolutely.
I must say that you outvoted me in every district.
I did. I absolutely did.
Including Lowell,
Yes, I
where
did.
I come from.
Yep.
So, great campaign.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to working with you for the next 4 years. And I hope that we can have a rematch someday. And we can
so many
move
things I want
forward.
to say right now. We'll just,
And we can move forward from that.
I'm happy to announce I voted for both of you.
we appreciate that.
I just gotta ask, did he beat you in the House?
I didn't break it down to the precinct. I lost in Lowell. I lost in
I
Drake.
promise I will, and if he
I
beat
didn't
you in the Highlands,
lose.
I'll report it to
I
you.
lost in Tingsboro, and I
But no, all kidding
lost in
aside.
Dunstable as well.
All kidding aside, I appreciate everybody that came out to vote for everybody. So, it was, they had a good turnout, so it was good.
Yes, and thank you for looking at the Greater Lowell Tech portion of your ballot, because I know sometimes in state races, people lose track of their local
The whole
community.
writing was very confusing, to my understanding, you know what I mean? And if you wrote in the name and you didn't fill in the dot, it didn't count.
Well, let's just hope there's not going to be any write-in candidates next time.
No.
Okay, next, I guess that's it for new business. Committee motions, there are none. And now I'd like to say, are there any items under old business?
That's all business.
Any items under old business? I know we have a couple of outgoing school committee people.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I would probably just like to say a few words in reference to our esteemed member, George O'Hare, who won't be with us next time around. He has decided to not run, as you know, and we'll be getting a new member. And it's bittersweet for me, because I've known him, it'll be 50 years next year when he originally started to run for the Lowell School Committee. I was helping my dad, and he was out running, and we met, and we've been pretty good force, or friends for several decades. George has been here before me, but he's an individual that really is caring, as he was for the school children of Lowell. He definitely put his best foot forward for Greater Lowell as well. He was involved in a lot of aspects of the school. He loved the school. He would help out with things like alternative house, and I don't know. I didn't prepare a list. I'm sure I'll be speaking of him again at some
Salvation
point.
Army was another one.
What's that?
Salvation Army was another one.
Salvation Army. He partook in a lot of activities, and I'm going to miss him. I know we'll have other members over the years take over, fill the seat. But as far as George was concerned, I don't know how many years exactly he was here. I know quite a while.
Definitely over 20.
His longevity, I'm sure, was equivalent to someone like George Cooler Harris or somebody. I don't know specifically. I know he lost a term on the Lowell School Committee, then he came back, and then he came up here. I wish him and the family well, and I'll save the rest for another time when we meet, because that's my understanding what we're gonna do at some point.
Thank you for that.
That's good.
Anyone else?
Well, I have a funny thing to say about George. My first meeting here, they were handing around the warrants for signature, and he says, Kempton, every now and then you just want to check to make sure they're not spending foolishly.
And I know my first term here, Mr. O'Hare was a man that I could look up to, only because he had so much experience. And I was very wet behind the ears, and sometimes spoke out of turn. Mr. O'Hare would always show me Robert's Rules of Orders and let me know, are things in order. And always wanted to coach me, always a man that cared about our students, always. The integrity of his thoughts and his desire to serve the students of Lowell was second to none. He served on the Lowell School Committee. He served on the Greater Lowell Tech School Committee. He was not a city councilor. He was not a state representative. He only worked for schools. He only worked for behalf of students. Mr. O'Hare is a man that I will always look up to, and we have mighty big shoes to fill here for the next representative that comes in to fill that spot. So thank you for your service, Mr. O'Hare. We're all very grateful.
He's very involved in sports.
Oh, he liked
very
sports.
involved in coaching.
Yes,
He-
yeah, another aspect.
He'd have left the coaching game and then come to a meeting
Yeah.
here, what I mean? Then you could tell.
I think he didn't he umpire?
He umpired for
And-
many, many years.
Yeah.
Many, many years.
And I can say that I know that he was a big Celtics fan.
Very big,
Very big Celtics fan.
yes.
When it really mattered.
When it really mattered, yeah, right.
And he came to so many of the events right here at the school.
Yeah.
I wish I came to 20% of what he attended. Anyway, to move on, motion to recess by anyone?
Oh, we got to go into executive session.
We're going to go into executive session. So, okay, let's take a motion to go into executive session. Motion by
Motion.
Mr. Gigi, seconded by Mr. Moran. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. And then a motion to recess, because we may come out of executive session and have a vote. So, motion to recess.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Moran, seconded by Mr. Gigi. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. Okay. Okay, we're out of executive session, and let's have a roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. Okay, in executive session, we discussed our assistant superintendent's extension. We just extended our superintendent's contract by 3 years. Under the recommendation of the school committee and the superintendent, we think it would be very nice to go ahead and keep this uniformity happening and keep the school moving in a positive direction. So we chose to extend Mr. Barton's contract by 3 years. We had a roll call vote, and it was unanimous. So I just want to make that statement.
Well, I think we have to vote again, so we need a motion.
Yeah, you gotta vote in public session.
Make a motion to
Okay.
extend the assistant superintendent's contract for
I'll
3
second
years.
it.
Okay, motion by Mr.
What's your name
Getchier
again?
to extend the assistant superintendent's contract by 3 years. Seconded by Mr. Sheehan. Roll call, please.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes?
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchir?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. Okay, any other business?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mr.
Motion to
Sheehan.
adjourn.
Happy birthday.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Sheehan,
Birthday.
seconded by Mr. Gigi. Roll call.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchir?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll wish you a man happy
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.